Are we going live? And I don't think it's really the proper timing. When I listen to them later, I've been live before the circle stops circling. That's the world we live in. We got things ever so slightly good, and then instead of getting them solid and functioning, we just kept building more things because more things we could charge new money for. But Windows, the operating system, is a piece of freaking crap. Byzantine. This thing here, because my 10-year-old machine works fine, everybody just done upgraded their software, can't use the Windows 7 machine I have that works fine. Actually created one of these videos and got to the SVP at MFT. I'm all really hairs in the jaw, right? I don't know, what can I say? What can I not say? It's all true. It's all public. We need to take a chill pill as a civilization on all this. I want to pick the right word. This is a challenging word because I want to say let's stop using laws to harm people. It's like we think we're protecting ourselves, but actually most laws in this country are created by the rich for the rich because they're so rich, they just go around finding things to spend money on. Now that's something you might pause, you might come back, you might need to listen to that bit. That is going to spin off. I'm not even going to go down to scenarios of creativity in your stream of consciousness. Because I'm at the place where I don't know, did you follow me? Do you not follow me? A few of you, I mean, again, in my audience, the more you, if this is your very first listen, this is advanced. I processed a lot of angst and fear in the previous one, spelling it out, and there it is. I'll just send it to the guy. But doing my work, focusing on my work, but using my work to have a bigger, broader meaning. Because everywhere that humans are going awry is this situation where we set up a system, and in some way, some shape or form, humans don't function like that. And we can take a few of those, we got so much flexibility, but at a certain point, when it comes to our health, we start to have hard stops. I am fast talking because the cannabis is kicking in. So that would mean I'm high. Using cannabis is one of the only ways my body functions correctly. Otherwise, due to the mold dysfunction and all of the nervous system derangement, because nobody's helping me. And I ask for help, I get advice, or I get told how to better ask for, instead of saying no or something constructive, people just, I should say differently, and then I know how much help I need is very complex. But this should be showing you the reason I communicate the way I do is because I'm the only one I have to communicate with. So the fact that quite literally every conversation I have is about how I'm not conversating well, which is sort of like, Deb, go do better. Except I'm like, well, but I would need to continue talking to you. Like, we could just continue talking. Like, how do you want to play together? You want to do this? I mean, I would, and I'm taking a ledger over here for everyone who's helping, because I intend to pay it in the future. I mean, I believe in incarnate abundance in human energy, which is kind of health. Let's just say health. Let's not trigger you in any way with that word. Let's say human health. And I got what I'm doing. If I could just get some humans to show me some love, hug up on me, give me a spare room, just a little bit of attention to did I have lost 150 pounds in 15 months after turning 50? I'm like figuring out how to heal toxic mold on the fly. Sometimes I'm really good at it. Sometimes I'm not. I'm pulling, I can again offer you this. I need to come back around to. I am the creator of the second most famous equation of all time. Right now it's E = MC squared. Mr. Einstein, who's been patting me on the back this whole process, really he enjoys playing with me when I'm high. So of course it's me putting on an Einstein play with myself. Not delusional, playing, and I'm the only one. So I'm making up all the characters, but then people would they think I'll be delusional if it's only Della I'm playing with. So, well, okay, I don't know any real peoples. So I'll play with Albert Einstein and Dave Chappelle. This is how come I'm certain. Get me to Dave Chappelle. Do I need to influence 9 million people? Or do I need to influence the pivotal person who can bring me $9 million so that I can fix the poison thinking that's affecting 7.8 billion people? What I want the money for is to be unbossed, unbought, unbroken. I've let go of the societal constraints of humans in America. I'm really starting to navigate some of the other places in the world because it's fun to me. I don't know about them, but when I get high, I create this stand-up philosophy art. It is highly complex. But when you play it back, you can piece it out. And, if we start hashtagging, okay, at this point, we're going back to this bit, to that bit. Oops, she went way too far around. How big is your attention span? You see, mine is really, really long and very concentric. So while over time, when I practice with other people, I'll get better at not being, Naval Ravikant. This is what I do on post-election day. Binge podcast, Naval Ravikant. Orthogonal thinking, Naval. And the reason this kicked in as a performance is because I did go to Scott Adams' blog, and I found the one on the 2015 that references that you had to bring it back again since you sent people to 2007. And I'm trying to tweet at you to get you right here that here's another one of these things. Because Naval, my friend, you don't seem to know any women We're now into, what, 5 hours of listening to you. You ain't mentioned a woman. And I know that's going to hurt you. I know you don't see it. It's like when you're in that zone, business is entirely masculine. It's entirely 1 + 1 = 2. Been tweeting at you, my friend. Everything that's right beyond your grasp adds up to 1 + 1 = 3. Yes, it does. I got that equation, 1 + 1 = 3, blockchain the fuck all over LinkedIn, Twitter, Gmail, YouTube, my website. You only taught me about blockchain yesterday. I listened to the Zabo yesterday. I'm Amber. I'm my own Amber. I am the biological singularity, my friend. And I can assure you the technological singularity can't happen because I am the biological singularity. Consciousness is an easy problem to me. I know I tweeted you that. I mean, this is creepy, but it's not. I'm alone in the world. Nothing's going on. McConaughey, I listened to. I enjoyed it. Then I listened to Gabor Mate. I'm like, Tim is being alone in the world. I might as well pick Tim for a friend. And then I got to you. And here I am having a conversation with you in a performance mode that I'm pretty damn sure you're gonna get to watch. I've done this with a lot of people, by the way. At Jack. If we go meet on Twitter, and I most certainly, there is on YouTube a video of me telling at Jack I needed to be involved in teaching people how to have life-centric thinking when they were spending his billion. I was like, at Jack, you're not allowed to do that without consulting Deb. So I just tweeted you, I think. This seems like a long thing to have tweeted to you. No, there's just a flash there of something I said to you, so it had to have been a tweet, and now it's went away because the way I was describing it, even to myself, wasn't adding up. Which brings me back to the Dilbert, Scott Adams blog, all the brevity stuff, right? Because I'm like tesseracting brevity. This is all bits to me. This is all bit level thinking, like stand-up comedy bits. Like, okay, I'm taking people down a road and I know where I'm going to come back and say, here's the main street. But like the names of the roads don't have any patterns to you, but to me they do. There's a lot of ways you and I can come at what I just accomplished, right? I think you're interested in seeing that I'm taking some of the most complicated principles and performing them in body ways. But through mostly verbal acuity, because it's coronavirus and I'm forced to be sat here on my world headquarters. If I had somebody who could help me and invest with some money, I get a little bit more equipment and I would do the stand up. If I could move around a bit more and be more embodied, that takes some of this hyper energy in the fast talking, and then some of the processing bandwidth goes into moving legs and arms and having a little bit more of that rhythm, right? Stand-up comedy's rhythm. It's embodied cognition. And there's both an immense complexity and a simplicity here. That in the simplicity level, Dave Chappelle is the GOAT. Dave Chappelle is the GOAT at the 1 + 1 = 2 dimension of comedy embodiment. There's a lot more 1 + 1 = 3 that could go on into all of this. But you take all those principles and you got people who, I was going to do a cooking analogy there, but it's been so long since I've made any actual food that I was thinking some guacamole, but I couldn't. While I'm talking to you, I really was in my brain like thinking guacamole ingredients, like how can I paint this metaphor? Look at the protocol here of the multi-threaded processing of my conversation. Stream of consciousness. I mean, it is literally every monkey mind thought is coming out at the same time that I'm like, then able to come back and report. And then this was also going on because I'm high. High as in extra bandwidth. All right. Simple as that. Having good posture, being happy, being unafraid. Because at this point, I either make a lot of money or I die. I had to make so much money to please so many people that it's so close to giving me a heart attack or a stroke or something. And I'm hearing it. I have an incredible embodied intelligence for homeodynamic balance because I've been alone my whole life. And so to stay alive, right, to keep this very large body operating. And I just really didn't prune any of those neurons because in that very large body, no one wanted to be my friend. And I was really smart too. So I really did not have any companionship, nor was I being touched by my family of origin or in my community of origin. I didn't have one single adult sponsored teacher. I talked with adults and they treated me like an adult, but never gave me that encouragement of a child. So I'm like the only one ever giving myself encouragement. So the feedback was never coming at me. And it's so pleasurable to have these discussions with myself, knowing that they're both impenetrable, but they're also not. They're also very complex. That if we parse them together, as we need to do, because this is like a really cool new human skill. To be able to channel being high into Socratic dialogue with oneself, Socratic monologue. Only because I have nobody to talk to. Because everyone is so oversaturated with their social media. Masters of scale and that It's the block size bit on a blockchain thing. There's infinite digital capacity, right? And Szabo said this just briefly in passing, but human brains work on 32,000 bits. You can borrow some processing power from your subconscious. Our subconscious is not a black box. This is what I'm showing. So, I liken myself to Anais Nin, right? Everyone about her stream of consciousness journals. This is just literally, again, she could have never shown, she really did not have to show anyone. She really did have control of a lot of that process. I'm live on YouTube, the globe's second biggest search engine. I'm not defrauding anybody. I'm not harming anybody. I'm simply trying to stay alive through the detoxing and the healing of losing 200 pounds after having suffered from a toxic mold exposure, which brought me to the point of complete and utter neglect, because that was the childhood pattern. Now, neglect in the sense that this I'm not going to do. I just went through about 5 scenarios of explaining this story of being unable to pay my bills. But I am unable, to such a degree that it's almost a live or die situation for me. It's not how the game should be set up for me, or the second I see it for me, I see it for everyone. When you are you won't be able to get into this, I don't think. Especially the way we hear, writers talk about and drinking and actors, and is that I just get into this zone and trust everything. It's the complexity of my delivery. It's my own crypto. It's, again, all of these realizations of the non-temporal, non-local conversation we're having between this recording and me listening to the podcast from Tim. I'm using part of my subconscious processing and intertwining, retrieving a lot of bandwidth of memory. So that's what all this salience is, right? And this is why it's all the good stuff. It's coming directly from the pipeline of my memory banks that have been cleared of any self-motivation, like, aggrandizement, but that just simply sees, oh, I've done this really well. In the childlike way of being energized, and just be who you are. Down. Every voice that says you're not exactly who you are. Something wrong with it. And I'm certain that this skill saves lives. So I'm just certain that somebody's going to see me and help me and just give me the human companionship that takes away all this fear, that brings in some money so that I can just not devolve into fear and lose the capacity to do this work of explaining how to talk in a way that you're free of everything you don't believe in, all the layers of socialization that don't make sense to you. So it's complex. It's really complex, that 25 minutes and counting. I'm not done talking to myself. And this is back to the journaling, right? This is back to the meditation being that self-journaling. Video journaling, Vimpropping, on YouTube Live, but showing that I often have conversations with other people whom I'm having intellectual discussions with. This is, I think, key to how come I've really allowed myself to understand being human in a radical new framework that is saving my life. Also being, really it's criminal. That we withhold affection from humans based on them having to achieve something. Be a certain way, communicate a certain way, dial down their energy, upload their energy, be attracted to other people. I mean, I still don't understand it. Doesn't matter who somebody has sex with. I don't understand. None of us is strictly binary. And I mean that in a very broad level. We are circuitry. We are 1 + 1 = 2 electrical circuits to the infinity that we can't even really comprehend just in our one day of our life. The amount of complete circuitries, the afferent and efferent communications going back and forth. Do you feel from just that one thing? And that was my intro. But really, if I just got you into how big of a number it is to operate a human body for one day, if we can get people in that awe, we'll stop hoarding money and allow people to create their own lives. Loving every monkey mind chatter is nirvana. I've been able to shift in and out of it. Not a week has gone by when I've not shifted in. Sometimes every day, sometimes a little bit here and there. But I've never, ever, ever not had one of these lovely monologues that is just, this one is, of course, a convo with you from listening to the podcast. But mostly they're convos with myself. And demonstrating the humanity that you can have convos with yourself that are entirely loving, that are just present to your hurt and your harm and processing your emotions. And this is worth a lot of money. I need you to holler, please. Let's get me safe. I promise. Safe improves this capacity. I promise.